Well, this next comic is the perfect man to make me feel better after a bomb joke. He is the friendly pharmacist. Please welcome to the stage Joseph Doyle.
I got my cheering section here for me. Thanks. Hey, San Clemente, how we feeling tonight? Everyone having a good time? Well, as Nate said, I am the friendly pharmacist. I work in retail. You know what that means. Occasionally I save a life, but mostly I sell Depends. And looking around this audience tonight, though, I think we can agree that adult diapers can be life-saving too. Am I right? Did you ever wonder what your pharmacist is thinking about when they're talking to you about their medication? Of course, if you go to CVS, you never get a chance to talk to a pharmacist because they're too busy hiding behind the counter, ducking by their computers, hoping to God you just don't ask them a question. But I talk with my patients, and sometimes I wish I didn't. And tonight, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about. And I hope I don't insult anybody, but screw it if you can't take a joke. You know, talking to my patients started really early. When I was an intern pharmacist, this beautiful young lady came in, and she was looking for something for a rash. I said to her, well, I'm going to really have to see it to help you. With that, she lifted up her blouse, showed me her beautiful breast, picked one up, and said, it's right here. Well, I stammered, I stuttered, but somehow or another I was able to come out with a recommendation for a cream. And then I offered to show her how to apply it. Come on, I'm the friendly pharmacist, right? You know, pharmacists are supposed to talk to their patients about new medications. I was walking up to the counter to talk to this lady, and she was yapping away on the phone. And I said, excuse me, ma'am, I really need to talk to you about this. She looked at me, looked at her phone, and she said, this pharmacist is such a bitch. So I said to my sister, really, sis? I thought we agreed you weren't going to say things like that to me at work. Come on, jeez. Anybody in this room know what Norco is? Yeah, I thought so. Opioid crisis right here in San Clemente. I get it. Well, I have a few patients who are Norco connoisseurs. You know, the kind that come in and say, what color Norco are you dispensing today? The yellow ones or the white ones? Because those white ones just don't work for me. And I'm thinking to myself, why is it that pill color only matters when it comes to opioids? What color blood pressure pill works for you? And speaking of blood pressure pills, why is it that nobody ever accidentally flushes down the toilet those or loses them? They only lose their opioids and their Xanax. That's the real mystery of the universe. You know, some patients can be a little bit of a pain. Like the guy who comes in and says, I need 3 prescriptions refilled. Okay, what are the prescription numbers? He goes, I don't know. I need my blue ones, my red ones, and my yellow ones. And I'm thinking, sir, Skittles, M&Ms, aisle 3. Some patients can really, or should be called, impatient. Like the person who came in and said, I don't get it. Why does it take so long to count a couple of pills out and slap the label on a bottle? And I agreed. I said, you know, the counting, the labeling, that could be pretty quick. It's making sure that this stuff doesn't kill you. That might take a little bit more time. But would you like me to rush it? Oh gosh, I had this little old lady come in, and she was all nervous, and she said to me, is it true that I have to take my blood pressure and my cholesterol and my diabetes medicine for the rest of my life? And I said, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry to say it probably is true. Well, with that, she became panic-stricken, and she said, why does it say on my label I have no refills? And you know, speaking of diabetes medicines, you know, some of those new drugs are so darn expensive. I know women with diabetes. They're not looking for sugar daddies anymore. They're looking for insulin daddies. Hey, did you know that last month, November, was Diabetes Awareness Month? Now, is it just me, or do you guys agree? It's pretty sadistic to have that the same month we celebrate Thanksgiving, right? The biggest meal of the year, right? Gonna have a second helping of dessert? I don't think so. And did you know that diabetes affects more black people than white people? Almost double. And you know, that's not at all racist, that's a medical fact. Now, if I said to you, hide your wallet, there looks like there's a lot of diabetes patients in the audience tonight. Now that might be racist. I work in a compounding pharmacy, which means that we can custom make drugs to meet your specific needs, like bioidentical hormones. And a lot of women, as they approach menopause, have their hormones go out of balance. Well, some of the symptoms of unbalanced hormones can be weight gain, lack of sex drive, those hot flashes, and irritability, moodiness, depression. But medical science has come up with a name for that syndrome, CHL, crazy hormone ladies. No, I'm only kidding. You know, I had one woman just sum it up perfectly when she said, when I prayed for a smoking hot body, menopause was not what I had in mind. You know, thank you. I appreciate that. Really, you can clap. It's okay. You know. What's really good, though, is that we can custom make hormones with, you know, at your doctor's prescription that can help relieve these symptoms and have you live a better quality of life. And you know, occasionally we get thank you letters from their husbands. Occasionally flowers, too. You know, we also can compound medications for veterinarians, for pets. And we put them in great flavors like tuna, chicken, beef, bacon. Now dogs, they're great. They'll easily go for those drugs. But cats, they're a different story. After the first dose, they've figured out the game. When they see you coming with the second dose, they'll dive under the bed or the couch, and the new game becomes, you want me to take that? Come here and get me, bitch. Oh gosh. You know, things have really changed in the 40 years that I've been a pharmacist. You know, back then, the young lady would come in for her birth control pills, and I'd be thinking, does her mother know she's taking these? Nowadays, a young lady comes in and says, well, I'm here to pick up my birth control, my sister's, and my mother's. Now I'm thinking, will she give me her mother's phone number? Oh, one of the great things about being a pharmacist is just the variety of patients that I see. Patients with erectile dysfunction, patients with constipation. I mean, I guess you can say, I see people that have trouble coming and going. And those ED guys, they can be pretty funny. When I told a guy a couple of years ago there's going to be $120 for his 4 Viagra tablets, he says, screw that, I don't need a hard-on that bad. But there's good news for erectile dysfunction patients. There's now generic versions of Viagra and Cialis. Low cost. Finally, some stiff competition. The other thing I like about being a pharmacist is I'm able to recommend non-drug therapy to some patients, like water. I recommend water to solve a lot of patients' problems. Looking to lose some weight? Drink some more water. You had a stressful day? Take a nice hot bath. Are you tired of annoying people? Drown them. True story. I had this patient call me and say, why does it hurt so bad when I inserted my rectal suppositories? I said, you did remove them from the foil wrapper, right? No, was I supposed to? And I'm thinking, what do I have to do? Come over there and shove them up there myself? I mean, jeez. And the funniest thing they ever said when I dispensed some suppositories was, should I take these with or without food? I'm thinking to myself, if you're going to put some food up there, it better be soft like mashed potatoes, really. Finally, When you walk into the pharmacy and the pharmacist says, "Hi, how are you?" It's just a greeting. We don't want to hear your medical history, okay? And you women, if you've got a rash, please don't show me your saggy senior tits. I mean, oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. You've been a great audience. I am Joseph Doyle, the Friendly Pharmacist.
Give it up again for Joseph Doyle, first time at Adele's.